two neighboring countries. One has more guns than people. The other one has just one legal gun store. So here's the question: who's actually safer? Today we're diving into the one of the most misunderstood comparisons in the world: gun ownership and crime in the United States versus Mexico, and what it really means for everyday people. Now, this is going to be two episodes. Today, Eddie's going to take over the US part because he still lives there, and we'll be doing a
All
second
right.
episode where I will take over the Mexican part because that's where I've lived for over 4 years now. So, my friend, it's all about you.
Man, let's talk about it. Well, let me start off first. First and foremost, I am a gun owner. Okay. I've been a gun owner for a very long time. My wife is also a gun owner. My children are gun owners. Um, but for us, gun owning is more of a sport. We all like to get out and we all like to shoot periodically. It's not for us where we live. I live in one of the safest states and also safest cities in the United States. So for me, I'm not a person that walks around with a gun, even though I do see some people who walk around civilians uh, with weapons, with guns, and to me, when I see them, I chuckle. I I, I do because I look at them like and I'm chuckling now just thinking about it. You know, people who walk around with holsters and guns, and I look at them and I like this is that person that I think got beat up in high school,
Yes.
and they need to have this as a sense of protection when they're walking around somewhere, and it's to me, I'm like, why are you doing this first and foremost?
It's a part of
And
their
you just don't
manhood.
know. Yes, and I was getting ready to go there. It's a part of the manhood, and I haven't seen any women, but I know women do have carriers that they do have. My wife actually has this purse that she purchased in order to carry her gun, and she doesn't carry it around when we're out and about. She doesn't. Okay, she liked it. She thought it was cute, so she decided to buy it. And she's never put her gun inside of it. So when she watches this episode, yes, I'm telling on you. But we we have we have that here in the states where when it comes to the gun market, it's a very big thing. But we have some talking points about it. I want to break these down. We'll go one by one with these, and
Let me know and I'll pop
obviously,
them up. I just wanted to say
well, please.
12 years in the military, active duty and reserves. I was a gun owner before I moved to Mexico. I had my handgun, I had a rifle, I had another handgun, and I sold everything. Sold the handguns, gave my brother my rifle, and I knew that coming to Mexico, it was not an option, not an option. But I was never the type of person that walked around, even though I had a concealed weapons permit, which was required in Florida, and now it's not. Anybody can carry a damn gun in Florida now. Anybody. That's the scary part. Anybody. Um, I never felt like I needed to, even though there were situations where I was glad I didn't because I might have been forced to use it.
It's the same here. In the state that I live in, it used to be you were required, but now you can walk around without it. In a lot of the 50 states have gone to those measures of where a permit is no longer required to carry a weapon. Um, but it's still, again, when you see people with them out and about, it's still funny to me. Okay,
It
to see
is.
people who are carrying firearms and are look to me, those are people who are looking for trouble. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay, to each his own when it comes to carrying a firearm, but at the end of the day, I always have to ask the question: is it necessary?
Well, here are your graphics. The USA gun policy. All yours, my friend.
Let's get into this. Let's look at number one: self-defense and personal safety. Millions of Americans own guns for protection, providing peace of mind in dangerous situations. When I look at that, I would say that that's true. Now, in the area that I did grow up in, it wasn't the safest location. Quite a few people did have weapons or guns in their homes for a sense of safety and protection. There's locations all around the world where people may consider, hey, if I had something, I may feel a little bit safer. But here in the United States, you have people who carry or also may have a weapon in their home just to feel safe. It's also a constitutional right. You'll always hear, even if you're not living in the United States, the biggest talking point always is that the Second Amendment protects individuals' right to bear arms, seen as a fundamental freedom.
Yeah.
Do I agree or disagree with that? I don't. um, eh, it's a right. It's a Second Amendment right. And we can go down the line about what the Second Amendment was truly, um, what it was written for, but it was not written for everybody to walk around carrying a gun. It was
Well,
not.
I
But
I have an issue with it. I look at a country like Australia, who's basically
okay,
done away with guns. Period.
yes,
And it worked for them. And they did what is feared by people in the United States. They said, "Look, you got guns? No, you don't. Bring them in, or we will come get the damn things." They brought them in, and those who didn't, they went and got the damn things. And do people feel safer now? Yes. Do they have less crime now? Yes. Are there less accidental deaths? Yes. Uh, just saying. Uh, are there
it
any
can be done.
drive-by shootings? Are there what country has the most incidents of a child getting a gun and taking it to school and shooting up the school? There's only one country where that's happening. Only one.
Yeah. And those are some of the negatives that we will get into,
Yes, sorry, I
right?
get ahead of
You look
things.
at you look no, you're fine. No, it's okay. It's okay, but it's the truth. It is. It's one of those things you have to be fearful of. My son has children, so I have grandchildren, and when they come by, we have everything already stored away. So we don't have to be concerned when they come by. But that is something we have to think about.
Yeah.
So if you are a person that does have a gun in your home, you have to take all of those things in consideration. And we'll talk about those accidents. We'll get back into some of the other topics
Yep.
where we get hunting. Hunting is a big thing. Tradition. I have a lot of friends who I know who hunt.
Mhm.
They go to the northern parts of the country, southern parts of the country, even here in the area, the state that I live in, hunting, game hunting is something that does happen here. So you'll have people who do sport hunting, long range hunting, and that's just something that's an American tradition. And a lot of people like to do it for, hunting wildlife. It's also something that's done for wildlife control as well. In certain areas of the country, they will do hunting as a way to be able to control the wildlife in the area due to a lot of breeding and a lot of population that takes place. So there's also, I say, this is the big one right here, the economic benefits.
Yeah.
The gun industry in the United States is a freight train. There is a lot of money when it comes to the firearm industry. It supports jobs. It also contributes billions of dollars in the U.S. economy. I have a sporting goods location less than 5 minutes from my home. It's called Shields. So people in the U.S., you may be familiar with Shields, but any sporting goods store where you will have the gun section on the weekend. The gun section in this store is wall to wall with people playing with guns. Okay, they're out there dry firing it. They having a good time. Well, they actually don't allow them to dry fire, but they're out there. And I was, I was, I was there for. I was there. I was picking up something. I forgot what it was, and it was a lady who was in front of me, and she had purchased some firearms for her son. It was as a gift, and these are rifles,
Wow.
multiple. I'm sitting here looking like, Grandma, come on now.
Wow.
What do you got? What's going on here? She walked away spending at least, I would say, $2,000-$3,000
Wow.
on firearms. Okay. So again, there is big money when it comes to this. Now, if you do want to go buy yourself a firearm, do it during the weekday. You can- you can get in, you can get out. Okay, just
You
letting
know,
you know.
you're saying that it reminds me of my childhood when I was a kid. And I don't know if you remember this or if it happened in your areas. There were times when government trucks showed up to give away government cheese,
Okay.
and people just
Okay.
lined up for blocks and blocks and blocks to get their big old block of government cheese because it was cheese, it was free. So
Yeah.
I when I go to places and you're talking like that, whether it's just wall to wall people and they're just lining up, I'm like, they giving away government cheese? Because that's the only time I ever seen
Hey,
people line up like that.
listen, they wall to wall. Okay, they are in there on the weekends. Whew, it's a major place. Also, deterrent to crime. We talked about that a little bit earlier. I will get a little bit more into that, but where it comes with the present of firearm, a lot of citizens will use them as a deterrent. Okay, it's something that they see as a measure of safety and also a measure of stability as well, because we do have some high crime rate areas here in the country, and for people who live in those areas, they want to have that sense of security, and a lot of them will have firearms to be able to provide that. But we got to get into the negatives. Any
Yes.
positive, always a negative, and gun violence is, I would say, the biggest. As you talked about a little bit earlier,
Yeah.
it's something that we deal with on a daily basis. I don't care what state that you live in. Gun violence happens. It goes reported. It also goes unreported, but we have high rates of gun related deaths. Mass shootings is something we deal with, homicides, suicides, and this is something that affects, people on a daily basis, yearly basis. It's something that we truly deal with a lot because when it comes to firearms, they're easily accessible, like we just talked about a few moments ago. And it's one of the things about when you use a firearm in a violent manner, a lot of times that's it. There's a period at the end of that sentence due
Yeah.
to the fact that you're using something that administers daily force.
Um, I will say this, and again, referencing other countries around the world. We are the only country that has this type of structure set up. I've traveled quite a bit. You go to England, not even the police carry around guns. Not even the damn police. Popo ain't got a gun.
Got that
Yes,
billy club though.
they do have a billy club and they know how to use the damn thing. They will beat the living hell out of you with it. They do have weapons. There's special units that have weapons, and they are
Yes.
trained that that is the last option, not the first option, the last option. You've got the Polizei in Germany. They do have guns, but again, there is an understanding that that gun is the last possible option. That you do everything you can not to have to use it. The civilians don't have handguns. They've got rifles. They've got hunting rifles, as do the majority of the countries all throughout Europe. But you're not going to go find a country in Europe where you can go to a store on the weekend, as you said, and pick up two, three handguns and walk out of the store
Yeah.
and not have a structure in place where they're checking to see who is buying this. Are they not only mentally capable of owning this firearm, but understand how to use it properly?
Yeah. They recently they're working to pass a piece of legislation possibly that people will be able to report individuals who are um in the mental state, or where someone feels that this is an unsafe environment, to be able to remove guns from the person. Obviously, it's not going over too well.
No.
Okay. Because again, everybody feels that it's their right to be able, and that's the way they just promote it. Even when you purchase a weapon, purchase a gun, you'll have an NRA, some type of NRA information in there, and that's the National Rifle Association. They want you to join,
Yeah.
and you'll see things like, "Hey, defend your rights to be able to purchase weapons." We also we talked about this a little bit earlier. Is that children and weapons as well?
Hmm.
Um, Again, my son has children. My daughter also has children as well. Pretty young, but they have learned also how to use a firearm as well. But at the same time, we do have accidents that happen with children. So that's why it's important for me to ensure that our firearms are safe. Because again, we have unintentional shootings that takes place with children. It occurs regularly. A child will find a weapon, trying to play with it, and we have an incident.
Yeah.
Give you a quick story about the first time I ever shot a gun. Me and my brother, we were, man, I forgot how old we were. We found a gun in the drawer,
Oh
and
God.
we knew what it was. We knew what it was. Okay, it was it was a revolver. Okay, and I would say about a 22, if that. And we went out and we had this shed. It was kind of long. Okay, it's on the side the length of the house, and we both took a couple of shots with it. We put
Mm.
it back. Okay, we survived. We put it back. We never saw that gun ever again. Okay, but again, at the end of the day, that was at a time where I would say it wasn't as prevalent as it is now for guns to be in your home. We did have a few guns in the home growing up. We did have a shotgun. We had that revolver there. But we grew up in the South, so it wasn't too safe for African Americans there.
Yeah.
And I lived in a community where we needed something like that. We needed that for our safety.
A sense of
So
security.
yeah, exactly. So with that, when it comes to kids and firearms, you that's something that we deal with here in the state due to again the massive amount of guns that we have at our disposal, how easy it is to gain access to guns. We have a lot of incidents that do happen with children.
Yeah. And it's just, it makes no sense. When my son was going to school, they would have the test. They would have the mock gun shootings at the school. Why does a child have to endure that and have the panic and the utter fear that what may happen this day, especially having lived in Florida? How many school shootings were there in Florida? I lost count. Absolutely lost count.
Sadly, it's gotten to a point where school shootings here in the U.S. they don't even get the same front page news that they used to.
No.
It happens, and that just goes to show how often it happens. It's almost like a regular occurrence, and people really don't. It doesn't even affect them um, as the way it should. Obviously, these are children who are just simply trying to go to school, get an education, which is also their constitutional right, but is looked at as an everyday offense. It's just, hey, a school shooting took place.
What is it every time now? It's hearts and minds, or hearts and, yeah, hearts and minds, isn't it?
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
no, know that we're going to put restrictions on it. Know that we're going to change laws. Know that we're going to change, and we're going to have mental health. Know that we're going to give you hearts and minds, but we're not going to stop selling guns, and you can buy all the damn guns you want,
Yeah.
regardless.
He's, they give you their thoughts and prayers all day
Thoughts
long.
and prayers. There it is. Thoughts and prayers.
That's that's their biggest one right there. Let's give you these thoughts and prayers, but
Yeah.
we're not going to change anything. We're not going to create any laws to protect our children. We will cast blame.
Yes.
But as far as doing anything to whole responsible being responsible gun owners is not something that the country is looking to do due to the fact of the economic benefits. That's
Yeah.
just my opinion.
You know,
We also have domestic. Go ahead, please.
no, I was just going to say when we talked about this earlier, and I think everybody knows that this past weekend, the National Correspondents' Dinner in D.C. held in the basement, the basement of the Hilton, and I've been there, and it is a basement. Um, the security was in place, but this man traveled from California on a train with a handgun, a shotgun, and knives from California to D.C., made it to the hotel, got through security to the second floor, and God help Wolf Blitzer, he had to be right next to this guy when everything threw down. Poor man lost his shoe. I don't know if you heard that story, but Wolf keeps telling it over and over again. Um, he lost his shoe and they had to go back and find it for him. Come on, Wolf's an old guy. He
Wolf,
can't go without a shoe.
Wolf, Wolf lost his shoe.
Yeah,
Yeah, I heard the story that he was there, but I was not aware that
yeah, he lost his shoe.
he lost his loafer.
Yeah. Um, but come on, this guy got in. Apparently, he left his info to let everybody know what he was thinking. But this guy had mental issues and would still be able to own weapons. And there were no thoughts and prayers going out the other night. Were there?
No, no thoughts and prayers. It was a guy who was actually still eating his food though.
I loved him. He was
Do you
awesome.
see his interview? You
I
saw his
have not,
interview?
but I'm going to watch it. And I like the
Oh
ladies
my
who were just gathering up the
goodness.
wine bottles.
Oh yeah, they was like, hey, this is the good stuff. We're gonna
Wine
take it with.
service to go.
So they was getting their money's worth, right?
But that's what
They probably
kills me
got in for
here.
free.
How many people have to die? How many senators, congressmen, how many times do they have to shoot at the president? Look at President Trump. They're saying this is attempt number 3. At some point, you would think he'd go, that's enough. I know you don't like me, but you have to keep trying to kill me. And he's lucky his ear grew back, didn't it? Like a lizard.
No comment.
His ear grew back because they said it was shot
That's
off and he wore the bandages. Just saying. Guns have their place in our militaries, in our law enforcement. But I believe, like these other countries, it is a painful process to remove them from the general population.
I agree with that.
But once they're gone,
Because yeah, and again, like I said, it's promoted as a right.
yes,
So when you promote things as a right and you come in and say, hey, we're gonna remove this, people are gonna kick and scream all day long.
yeah,
You're not promoting the benefits, the importance, even though people know the benefits. Is the United States is a country where if I want it, I should be able to have it. Period.
yeah,
I can care less about what anyone else thinks. I can care less about the other consequences. About being able to carry a firearm or to own a firearm, and with that, that's the reason that we have not moved the needle when it comes to any type of reform when it comes to gun control or gun policies in the US.
yeah. It drives me crazy. It really does. Um, and in the next episode, we'll be talking about this. I live in a country where you have no right to own a firearm, and I could say it feels nice. I feel more comfortable. There hasn't been a single school shooting here. There are no drive-by. Well, I'm not going to say that. There have been some, but not where I live. It's up in the north where the cartels are doing their thing. But I have felt more comfortable when I left Florida and moved to an area where that's not allowed. I felt more comfortable knowing that someone who was having a bad day could walk into a hospital, a mosque, a church, a theater, a Walmart, a TGI Fridays, and let their emotion be expressed by shooting everyone up.
Yeah, it is, it's not something that you constantly think about, but it's there. Like you're stating, it's there. It's a possibility.
Yeah,
You don't know who's having a bad day, right? You don't know who's that person who's, you know, they're at the end of the rope, and it's for them. It's like, okay, this is what I'm going to do because I am at the end of my end of the rope. And like you stated, we a lot of the guns here actually end up in different countries. The illegal trafficking of weapons, that's one of the other negatives that we do
yeah,
deal with here. I was sharing this a few years ago with someone. They was asked me the question about gun access, and it's like it's hard to get a gun. I was like, and I had to let that person know. I'm like, that's not true.
no,
I said gaining access to a gun is actually very easy, especially if you are a person and you own one, and let's say you can't feed your family, but you have this asset, and that
yeah,
asset is a gun. Hungry family or sell gun, you're gonna sell that gun to be able to put food on the table for your family. Um, Drug trade is another way that guns are also trafficked. So there's a lot of things that when it comes to the trafficking of illegal weapons that happen in the U.S., there's also now 3D printed guns is another avenue. And again, that's not even on our list, but hey, we got to
no,
talk about it,
no. You're
right?
you're right because now you can go ahead and 3D print it, and if you do it right, you can break the whole gun down, put it in your luggage, and travel with it without issue.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's something now when it comes to that aspect, because you can go online and you can buy the um the blueprint and to feed into your 3D printer to
Yeah,
be able to have it do the job. You tell it what to do, the 3D printer's like, "Hey, here we go. I got it for you."
yeah,
So those are some of the other things that, when we're thinking now about the evolution of
hmm,
technology and how technology is now moving us more into a place where these things are now will be easily accessible to a lot of people who just want access to it. And then we also got the public health impact. Gun violence is a major public health issue, and we've talked about this a lot already. But it leads to trauma, anxiety, long term costs, and all costs for communities. I'm like somebody who's like I said, I lived in a not the best neighborhood growing up as a kid. I had a weapon pulled out on me before, and it's something, hey, I had to think about for a while. My safety as far as going outside and being able to do things.
yeah,
I had a friend who died in a drive-by shooting, and I was had just saw him. I would say maybe 20, 30 minutes beforehand, and there was a somebody driving by. He's running from the store, going with some other friends, and he's no longer with us. So when it comes to it, yeah, there's a lot of impact when it comes to guns for a lot of people. For them, if it's not happening in their community, it's out of sight, out of mind.
yeah,
The people that it is affecting, they're like, we need change here. So you have both of these pendulums that you're dealing with, but at the end of the day, there's so much money that's in it. It's hard for that pendulum to be able to tilt a certain way
yeah.
to ensure that the public safety is really taken care of. So when it comes to gun policies in the U.S., me personally, we got a long way to go. It's very complex. Will it change in my lifetime? I can't answer that question. My only thing, I hope that it does.
I'm hoping at least in my children's lifetime it'll change.
I would agree. I would
Well,
agree.
on that note, I'm going to wrap it up. We're about at that mark where people are going to get bored with us. Well, with me, with you, they'll listen to all damn night. I can listen to you all damn night. But I want to tell everyone out there, um, look at your community. Look at what's going on. I think everyone in one form or another has been affected by gun violence. And Is it worth continuing to go through that, or should you make your voices heard? Should you reach out to your local politicians? Should you reach out to your state representatives, to your national representatives, and tell them enough is enough? Changes have to be made. Um, our lives are they're worth more than a gun company and an ammunition company and a holster company and all these people that are making money off of it making money. It really is. So we're coming back with another episode, so please stay tuned. The next one will be out tomorrow. Although we're going to film it now because I'm not doing this tomorrow. Plus I got some guacamole and some chicharrones waiting on me that I'm dying to get to after the next episode. Eddie, thank you. We will get the next one going. But let me say this: stick around because there is so much more to come. Because this is never stopping. Thank you for watching.